Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? NoZoupForYou here, and I've got an interesting question today. One that I actually asked myself randomly playing yesterday. Why am I still playing? Or for that matter, why are you still playing? Why are any of us still playing after 5-6 years if you've been playing from the very beginning? So as I played, I sat and I kind of pondered this. I just wondered, why am I still playing? I mean, I have no vested interest in the game. This is the longest game I've ever played. I mean, 5-6 years. I can't say that I've played any other game out there as long. And it's not like at this point right now the game is extremely enjoyable. I mean, has it ever really been the most enjoyable game you've ever played? I don't think any of us can honestly raise our hands and say, yes, this game is without a doubt the best game that I have ever played. Which just makes it more ludicrous why I've been playing this long, or any of us have. I mean, I'm not trying to knock the game, but at its base level, it is still just an arcade game. With ships that has serious mechanical problems from time to time, serious bugs from time to time, serious issues. I mean, it's not like this is Call of Duty or a AAA game that, you know, people are going to buy and they're going to absolutely love it and spend every minute playing it for 1 or 2 years until the life cycle ends, and then they move on to the next greatest thing that comes out. I mean, that's what happens with AAA games. This is a free-to-play game. So, I mean, its life cycle lasts a lot longer, it's going to be out a lot longer, and I think most free-to-play games are still very much works in progress throughout their entire life cycle, which could last up to 10 years. I mean, look at World of Tanks. It's still somewhat going strong, I guess. People are still playing it. The game's still being updated. People grumble about it. They hate certain aspects, but they still play. But when you think about all these things and just how it takes 20 minutes to play an entire round sometimes, something that doesn't take as long in any other multiplayer game. You know, first-person shooter, a round's going to last anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, so you can get lots of rounds in. You got respawns, everything else, something you don't have in World of Warships either. You know, you get sunk, you're out, you're gone. And for those of you that don't have premium, you're probably struggling to get back into the game. You can't even repair your ship or get it back in there. So, why am I still playing this? And it's not like I'm I guess, content creator that needs the game for survival. I don't. I mean, there's legitimately no reason why I'm still playing, or any of us are, after everything that's happened. So, I kind of wondered about this yesterday, just sitting around and into the night randomly, and I don't know why. I wasn't focused yesterday. I guess it was a rough weekend, drill and everything else. So I think what it came down to, the more I thought about it, the attachment that I have to this game doesn't really revolve around the gameplay. Not at all. I mean, I'm at the point right now where I don't care how I do in a round. Obviously, I want to win. Obviously, I want to hit 100,000 damage. If I don't hit 100,000 damage, I consider it a bad game for me, because that's just where I'm at with my own personal skill. That's my Mendoza line. For you out there that are familiar with the baseball term, the Mendoza line is, you know, dealing with batting average. If you bat over a certain batting average, you're good. If you're below it, well, you're just another player that's probably going to bounce between the big leagues and the little leagues. But for me, that's my goal every time I go out and play. But at this point, I'm now at the point where if I don't hit it, I really don't care. Yes, I want to win. Yes, I want to look like I'm doing good out there, especially because so many people know me and recognize me when I go out there and play, and I feel like I have to do good, because I feel like when the team sees me, they're like, oh, we're going to win, which isn't really always the case. But I think my attachment to the game, at this point, for me at least, is to the ships. And the more and more I think about that, the more and more I think that holds true. Now, that's only two parts, because I have an attachment to you, the players. And I get a lot of joy interacting with people. I really do. That is one of the highlights for me playing this game. Just the pop culture references that fly around when I play, the witty banter with players that know me and randomly wind up in a round. it really, to me, because I've got a community, it feels like I've got a bunch of friends out there that, yeah, we might not know each other, but I pop in there, you know me, I'm friendly, you know, I'm very approachable, I enjoy playing with you all, and I think that's what keeps me going in this game, one of the things that keeps me going. Something I don't have in any other game I play. Of course, in my other games, when I play, I've got my own dedicated squad, I've got buddies that I play Warzone with every single weekend. We know each other's abilities and, of course, lack thereof, but we can still go out there and win Warzone and everything else. But this is different. This is, you know, I never know who I'm going to come across when I play. Every single round's different. I jump into the game, I meet someone new, someone interesting, communicate with them, and what was the term in Fight Club? Fly-by-night friends or whatever, or single-serving friends. You know, you wind up next to them in an airplane, you talk to them for the duration of the flight, then you go your merry ways and you never see them again. Well, Warships is somewhat the same way. Of course, you might run into these players again in the future. You might remember them because they've got a funny name or something else. So I think that's really one of two reasons why I'm still playing this game and what keeps me in the game. It's just the players that I come across, you all, the community. Because it ain't the gameplay at this point anymore, especially with the HE spam and everything else. The second reason I'm still vested in this game and why I still play is I have a connection to these ships, and I've come to realize that. As a historian, as someone who loves naval warfare, as someone who loves World War II history, outside of visiting these ships in real life, which I've done for many of them, and, you know, this is why I'm kind of highlighting this Massachusetts round I just had. By all means, it's not a great Massachusetts round. It's just, we'll call it filler. But, you know, I hadn't played the Massachusetts in a while, and I said, all right, I'm going to take it out. And when I did, I stopped there, and I'm like, I've actually been on this ship. At an event, I met players on this ship. This ship represents something to me, represents something special. It's a moment in real physical history, not only for me, but going back to World War II. And because of that, I feel I have a unique, special bond with this ship. And I enjoy playing it for that reason, and just looking at it, and imagining the history that it went through, and remembering me being on this ship. And the same goes for ships like the USS Iowa. I have a connection to that ship. I've been out there. I've toured it. I'm sure players are the same way with the Missouri, or the Belfast even. I've seen the Belfast, but I haven't toured it. USS Kidd. That's what keeps me in this game at this point. These ships. And the hope that more ships like that will come out, though. Slowly, we've moved on to 100% paper, it would appear. Which I feel is unfortunate, because we still have these connections to these ships. And ships that we don't have yet, that we desperately want for historical reasons, and that connection. Ships like the USS New Jersey or Wisconsin, which I feel are my home ships, because if I go 4 hours in any direction, I can get to either one of them. Those are the ships I want. Or the USS Johnson, which I've been saying I want for 5 years because of what it did in World War II. It's those unique connections with the ships and the community are what keep me in this game right now. That's why I'm still playing after 5 or 6 years. Granted, it's not as much as it used to be, not nearly as much as it used to be. I don't quite have the desire to be at that level anymore. I still love making content for the game because I find it another way to interact with you all. But as far as content's concerned, priorities have somewhat shifted, and that's because of real life stuff too. Twins, life, military job, you know, the reserves is getting a lot more busy, being at the division level and everything else. But yeah, I mean, at this point in the life cycle of this game, I'm not playing to be competitive. I'm not I'm not playing because I absolutely love this game, the mechanics and everything else. I'm playing because of that connection with the ships, the historical aspect. I guess I fall into that category of players now, that just play ships because of the history, and because of you all. I'm still playing because of you all. I love playing with you guys and gals and running into you all in-game and just connecting with you all at a personal level. It kind of keeps me going in this game. And if it weren't for those two things right now, I don't think I'd be playing anymore. Because again, it's not like the gameplay has been refined to a point that I think this game is worth playing still. But it's the community, the players, the other players, that interaction with them, and the fact that we do have these historical ships in the game that I just love seeing in action, and just kind of envisioning how they were in World War II and saying, this is probably the closest thing that I've got to a... It's not a simulator, but the closest thing I've got, and the ships are rendered beautifully. They really are. So it gives me that connection to them, that living steel. That's why I'm playing. But I'm interested to know why you all are still playing, especially if you've been playing since the very beginning. And I know a lot of you have kind of scaled back the way I have as well. You're probably not playing as much. I know a lot of you have stopped playing. You come back 3 months later just to see if the game's still worth playing. I know a lot of you watch my videos to kind of get a cue into that as well, to see if it's worth coming back. And then some of you even said you've tried playing, you just can't get back into it. But if you are still playing, despite taking breaks or not, I want to know what's keeping you into this game still. What the selling point is for you, why you're still playing. Let me know in the comments section of this video. If you've been a long-time follower, haven't subbed yet, be sure to do that. Guys, I hope you're doing great out there. I really do. And I don't want to sound like I'm hating on this game right now, because I'm not. I mean, this game has been good to me. I've been good to it. But after 5 years, 6 years, you know, I'm realizing the reasons I'm in it now are not the reasons why I'm in it when I began. And because of that, I feel like I can start to enjoy the game more. Or at least not look at it with the antipathy that a lot of people do. Anyhow, I hope you all are doing wonderful. Take it easy. Zoop out.